What is going on YouTube? Hayden back making another brand new Crypto TV episode. In today's video, we will be looking at Litecoin, Bitcoin, Ethereum, as well as Stellar Lumens to BTC. As always, if you guys are new to the channel, make sure to subscribe, turn on post notifications, leave a giant thumbs up if you want to see more content like this. Otherwise, let's jump into today's episode. So hopefully, as you guys saw in the title and are aware, we're going to be discussing something quite interesting that I kind of wanted to bring up because I thought it was quite important. Basically, celebrities like DJ Khaled and Floyd Mayweather are getting involved in cryptocurrency Ponzi schemes and like ICOs, pre-ICOs, and shilling ICOs and getting people scammed, which goes against everything. It goes against the SEC, it goes against everything, and ripping people off. And now they're getting in trouble and fined, if not jail time, for promoting these ICOs. I think it's crazy news that even big guys like DJ Khaled are promoting such a crazy, scam, and I'm sure they're aware of it too, or they just wanted the money that they were getting paid for. But that's what we're going to be talking about in today's episode, as well as doing some technical analysis on the market. And hopefully you guys liked yesterday's video where I introduced Bitcoin Ben. Truly, I just wanted to get his personal opinion on the market and things like that. I know a lot of you guys are pro and con Bitcoin Ben. Obviously, you can check that out. It was last night's video or yesterday morning's video. So do check that out. Let me know. But yes, I do plan on bringing other people that have a kind of a big influence within the cryptocurrency market on YouTube and in the market in general, Twitter, all that stuff. So if you do want me to bring somebody else onto the show, make sure to leave a comment. This way I know which person you want to bring. Let me know who you want to see on the show, and I will definitely make sure to try to make that happen. Otherwise, let's move on to today's episode.
It's bright.
Since you guys know my whole channel is about money and finance and getting the best deals, so I thought I would help you guys out by showing you this really cool deal that popped up on my phone today. Check it out. There's Heather right there. Say hi, Heather.
Hi.
There we go. So if you guys download the Burger King app and you click this, you can unlock a 1 cent Whopper by ordering it in the McDonald's parking lot. So these are like $3 or $4. You can get it for 1 penny. The Burger King Whopper. Pretty cool. Check it out. This is downtown Rochester. Pretty cool. So, as you guys can see, we're on the current coin market cap. Let me just adjust this. There we go. And there's a few things that I do want to look at. So I do want to refresh really quick this coin market cap. Then we'll jump into the article. But as you guys can see, the coin market cap, we are up fairly well. I just refreshed, so it is kind of live. We have a market cap of 127 billion. 24-hour volume 13.6 and a Bitcoin dominance of 53.9. So what we can judge from that is Bitcoin dominance is fairly high, higher than it was yesterday, which is basically showing us that we are, moving up in Bitcoin dominance, and obviously we're getting a lower altcoin dominance. That doesn't mean that altcoins are losing value. It could just mean Bitcoin is gaining value, or Bitcoin is maintaining itself and altcoins are dropping, or they're both doing the opposite. Also, 24-hour volume is 13.6. That is very low. We've seen this as high as 300 billion. We've also seen it much lower than that at 9 billion. And we've seen it a couple days ago at 20 billion. So we are coming down fairly low. We're not as high as we used to be, which is another indicator that we're kind of stabilizing, correcting, trading sideways as of right now. Then we see a market cap, which is a big final judgment call at 127 billion, which is an indicator that the markets are doing fairly low. That means that compared to yesterday, money has left exchanges and we're seeing a much lower suppressed market. And as we can scroll down and we can kind of see that on the market, we can see that Bitcoin is actually up today and the rest of the market is pretty much down. Yes, Bitcoin is up 0.79, which isn't by much, just broke $4,000. Then we can see, you know, XRP at 35 cents, Ethereum at 109, Stellar at 0.14, and then we see Litecoin at 31, still above the $30 support that we've seen in the past. But what I really wanted to jump into is this article on Cointelegraph, basically celebs and ICOs, the making of a dangerous duo. And obviously, as we know, you know, celebrities have a huge influence on people. They're practically what people look up to. It's what people, you know, really put a lot of their money into. Whatever they sell, people want to be like them. So whatever they promote, sell, shill, people usually end up buying it. Not to say that I have any influence, but I do like to make sure that what I'm talking to you guys is not a scam or anything like that. I just bring information to you guys and I want you to have your own final judgment call on what this is. So here's another article basically, you know, talking about that. So this, obviously, DJ Khaled, Floyd, Mayweather, you can see many different industries, Hollywood involvement with cryptos and initial coin offerings, ICOs, has become a reality, and a number of celebrities have looked to capitalize on the surge in interest and potential money to be made. So it is very smart. ICOs are very, very, very smart to reaching out with people with a lot of influence and a lot of following. It's definitely a good way to get some mainstream media to give some attention to these coins. It can also get them in trouble. And the same reason, you know, these big influencers obviously want to get paid. And, you know, if they give them 50 grand, 100 grand, 300 grand, they would most likely say yes, just to say, get this coin, you know, get this credit card, get this or that, you know, on their social medias. Super easy for them and they get paid a lot. So, as it says, two major names of the entertainment industry fell victim to the fallout associated with the fraudulent ICO of crypto financial services startup Centra Tech. In 2018, the three co-founders of the project were indicated and charged with securities and wire fraud by the United States Securities and Exchange Commission, the SEC, which I did a live stream yesterday discussing the SEC's potential of targeting, you know, YouTube influencers that have also shilled ICOs for money, even or promoted it and not have told people about it or anything like that. Basically, it said Centra Tech had raised $32 million during its ICO. That is massive. Centra Card was advertised as a debit card reportedly backed by Visa and MasterCard, which allowed users to convert crypto into fiat currencies. Investigations revealed no actual partnership agreed. So it's a huge scam. People who invested in actually lost money, which is interesting because Shift Card did exactly that. I don't believe it was partnered with what is it, you know, Visa and those. Actually, it was. I actually have the Shift Card with me right now, and this hooks up to your Coinbase account, and you can actually convert whatever money is in your Coinbase, as you guys can see here. Hopefully, this is the Shift Card. And whatever you buy with, you know, your Shift debit card, it's not a credit card, will get taken out of your Coinbase Bitcoin. So it's very interesting. This is doing the same thing. It sounds like a good idea, but people actually got scammed. And it says, before any of this came to light, the founders of the project managed to get the backing of none other than the boxing superstar Floyd Money Mayweather. The boxer had posted a photo on Twitter with a Centra debit card in hand September of last year. Mayweather wasn't the only high-profile celebrity to be tainted by association to the fraudulent project. American music producer DJ Khaled, hopefully all you guys know who DJ Khaled is. If you don't, what are you doing? Are you even like getting out? Or you gotta get out. But had endorsed the project on social media, touting the Centra debit card on Instagram. Nevertheless, the post had since been deleted on all of their social media profiles. Last week, both celebrities had faced the music for their involvement with Centra Tech. The SEC formally charged both Mayweather and Khaled for unlawfully advertising the fraudulent ICO. Now listen to this, how much money they actually made and how much money that they owe now. So it says, Mayweather copped a heavy judgment from the regulators for not disclosing promotional payments from the three ICO issuers. So basically, he got this card and got paid from the ICO to promote this, but didn't tell anybody that this was a sponsored promotion. On YouTube, if I ever advertised something to tell you guys to buy, if they paid me to promote it, I have to let you guys know. Otherwise, I can get in a serious trouble and I can get into some legal, you know, problems with YouTube and a lot of other companies. So I have to let you guys know in advance that what I'm promoting to you guys is sponsored if I did get paid for it. Otherwise, I have my personal freedom of speech to say whatever I want about it. So basically, it said Mayweather copped a heavy judgment from the regulators for not disclosing promotional payments from 3 ICO issuers, including $100,000 from CenturyTech. Khaled also failed to disclose a $50,000 payment from CenturyTech. So Mayweather got $100,000, $100,000 for posting something on Twitter saying, use this, look what I got. That is insane. It got paid that much. Both celebrities refrained from admitting or denying the charges against them and agreed to pay the penalties for the restriction. Mayweather, you know how much he had to pay? So he only made $100,000 off this. The SEC is suing him for $300,000, $300,000, a $300,000 penalty, as well as $14.7K in prejudgment interest. Wild. And Khaled is set to pay $50,000 in disgorgement and $100,000 as a penalty. So we're already at $150K for only accepting $50,000 to promote the card. And then he has to pay $2.7K in prejudgment interest. So the ramifications of their involvement goes further than financial payments. Mayweather has agreed to collaborate with the ongoing investigation into CenturyTech and has been barred from promoting securities for 3 years. Anything. And Khaled cannot promote any securities for 2 years. So it's wild. And basically it says during the past 10 years since Bitcoin's inception, we've seen more than a few spin-offs of hard forking riding on the names of preeminent crypto. We've seen a bunch of different, you know, ICOs come to life that are actually scams. BitConnect, you know, we've all known about that, and a bunch of other currencies that are ICOs. So this is what I'm telling you guys. You guys have to be really, really, really aware and, you know, take this with a grain of salt, what I'm telling you, but definitely think about it and then make your own judgment call. A lot of these things can be scams. A lot of these things can make you lose a lot of money. Now, at the same time, a lot of them can make you a lot of money, like a penny stock. It's very possible that you could invest in one that ends up making you a lot of money, but you have to do your own research. You have to go with your gut. Even if you see these big influencers pushing products on you, that doesn't mean you should buy them. As tempting as it is, it doesn't mean you're going to make money off of it, investing into something one of these big hustlers are pushing, because at the end of the day, what they could be pushing could be biased, which, as we can see, they were, and they could be pushing something not giving a crap about your opinion or your thought, and they know they could be hustling you over just to make a quick penny themselves. So definitely do your own research, do your own homework like I do. I just try to bring my homework to you guys and have you guys see it. But otherwise, we are going to look at the technical analysis aspect of the channel. We can see, I want to start off with XLM. We'll move on to Litecoin right there. So really quick, in short, we're looking at XLM on the weekly. As you guys can see, we did draw an Elliott wave, a 5-point Elliott wave on here. We started here, or actually we started at the top here, went down to a 1, 2, 3, 4. Now we're headed to a 5. As you guys can see, market is kind of following that. It's kind of preeminent, which is kind of interesting, but we're seeing Stellar slowly move back down to point number 5. This is Stellar Lumens to Bitcoin on the weekly, the Binance graph, so it's kind of hard to call out the prices because it is in Bitcoin. It would be something like 0.00000015433, which is totally confusing for all you guys. So just look at my graphs and try to, you know, remake them on your TradingView platform or account. But you can see we have 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, and we're heading to 5, and we most definitely are. You can see we've been tracking this all the way back since the beginning of November, and as you guys can see, we hit number 4 with a very strong resistance and have currently been falling much lower, and it looks like we're going to head to number 5 fairly soon. I can even move that down here. Once we hit number 5, that's when it's going to be Judgment Day. You know, we're going to have to see whether or not we're going to break bullish and move up much higher and invest into, you know, XLM, or personally, I will be investing into XLM, or we're going to ride this wave down into the eerie depths of the, you know, underworld of crypto, because it will be very, very, very low, and there will be a lot of negativity and FUD being spread. So, otherwise, moving on, with that, if we see XLM continue to go lower, it's very possible that we've seen there's some sort of correlation between the market and XLM. If XLM continues to go lower, it might be a good indicator that the rest of the market is. And the way that chart looks, the rest of the market seems like it's going to go down. I know I don't want to say it, but it's very possible. So these prices may not be, you know, the bottom yet, and I don't want to call it out like that, but it is very possible. So with that being said, Litecoin seems to be finding a very strong support on its daily with around $28, and we seem to be holding that fairly well, but What I want to point out is, yes, we are back out of being oversold, which is another indicator we could end up going right back down into it. And we are also trading out sideways away from this downtrend right here that we seem to have been using for months as a resistance and now as a support. So with that being said, it is very possible Litecoin could be seeing much lower prices. I know it's unfortunate to say, but we could be seeing, you know, levels as low as $19, $15 for Bitcoin, for Litecoin, sorry. So make sure you are scaling your investments. Don't buy your entire life. Don't put any of your life savings into it. But if you do have, you know, some rainy day funds, $1,000, $500, whatever it is, and you want to start buying into crypto, you know, scale it out. Put 1/5 of it in at prices like this. Put, you know, another maybe 2/5 of that down at, you know, 22. And then if we start to go back up, well, cool. You've already bought in at levels, you know, that are good, and you can make profit going up. But if it continues to go lower, you buy more as it heads down. These are pretty much the bottom level, so we shouldn't really be seeing much of a lower trend. We are pretty darn low, and then we should be heading up, you know, fairly soon, or we're going to see an accumulation zone for a couple of months, which I know I don't want to say, but it is very possible. Otherwise, we're looking at Bitcoin on its weekly. I know we did review this in the live stream yesterday, but as you guys can see, we do have a downtrend, a descending triangle forming. We broke bearish. We fell much lower. We found a support at around $35.79, $3,579, and we seem to be holding that fairly well. We're also bottoming off on the oversold line for the relative strength indicator, which gives me some sort of hope that this should just trade out sideways from here and then hopefully kind of correct back up. So it's very interesting because there's two things competing against each other. We have XLM, which wants to move lower and most definitely will move lower. It is possible that from here we could trade out sideways for a couple of weeks and then head lower. But we also see Bitcoin. Let me pull that up. Okay, we have Bitcoin that headed lower, and by the charts it looks like it's going to, you know, trade out sideways or move back up, and it definitely could. It could trade out more longer sideways, or it could pull up, but in the long term there's a good chance it's going to head down to potentially $2,900. I don't want to say it, but I did. It could head down to that level, and then we could see, you know, a retracement back up from there. Could even head down as low as, you know, $1,938 or $2,000 being rock bottom. That's pretty much where support is. I'd be so shocked if we fell even lower to $500. That would be absolutely wild. Don't think it's going to happen. I'd be very shocked, very confused if we did head that low. There are huge buying orders down there, so I wouldn't expect prices of that level, but $2,000 could be crazy rock bottom. Otherwise, Ethereum doing the same thing, consolidating, trading out sideways. We're pretty much wrapping up Ethereum. You know, it's back up above now into a more neutral territory. Still, you know, trading sideways on that line of support in terms of being oversold on its RSI. But we do need to consolidate. And I said it yesterday, and I said it every day that we've reviewed Ethereum. We're going to trade out sideways. We're going to move here. We're going to see some sort of pressure build in this point right here. And then we're either going to break down or we're going to break up. And we're going to have to figure that out as we get closer. Obviously, the end of this is, you know, the end of December. You know, we just started December. It's December 4th. So we have 22, 23 days to review and prepare, and then we'll make the call when we get a little closer. But otherwise, that's going to sum up today's episode. We just broke 5,600 subscribers, so thank you guys. We're heading to 10,000. Giveaway will be at 10,000. If you're new to the channel, make sure to subscribe. Leave a massive thumbs up if you like the content. Drop a like, you know, drop a comment. Let me know. I love responding to all you guys, and I'll see you in tomorrow's episode. Deuces.